What's up, boys? It's Dylan with Prepared Father here, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the FN 509. Now, I've put about 1,300 rounds through it, so I got a kind of a good feel for it. So if you're new here, we make honest and genuine content for firearms owners, whether you're a high-speed operator or you're just a dad willing to lay it all on the line to protect the little ones. All right, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more real-world firearms content, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss future uploads, because I'll say this, YouTube does not like the little guy, all right? Now, one of the first questions I had when the 509 was actually released was, why a number? You know what I mean? Because, FN previously used letter codes like the FNS or FNX, so what made them switch it up? Why isn't this the FNS1 or something? You know what I mean? And it turns out, like most things in the firearm industry, it was all marketing. All right, according to the FN rep I saw on the internet, they say 3-digit numbers sell well. Numbers starting with 5 sell well, and odd numbers sell well. So they just landed on the 509. Now, while older firearms kind of followed a more traditional approach, like the Winchester Model 94 or the Glock 17 or something like that, modern marketing strategies actually focus on attracting new buyers rather than catering to the already familiar industry. All right. So the 509 actually started as FN's entry into the U.S. military's modular handgun system competition, and the SIG P320, as you guys know, by ad nauseum now, they ultimately won the contract. And FN didn't let that stop them, though. They're not going to be like, okay, we designed this pistol that didn't make it, so screw it. Essentially, the 509 is just an upgraded FNS that was modified for the MHS competition. Now, personally, I have a ton of questions about how the 320 won, because while I do think it's a good gun, I definitely have my doubts about how a firearm with MIM internals, some that are even produced overseas, beating out brands like FN or Glock. But here we are. All right. So FN saw an opportunity to release a battle-ready striker-fired pistol, and they took it. So first things first, let's show clear. These are snap caps, as you can tell by the giant hole in the casing, and that is also a snap cap. The FN 509 is a striker-fired double-action 9mm pistol that was built for duty use, but the question is, does it hold up for like everyday carry and home defense? Straight up, if it's for duty use, it's probably going to qualify for these things. But let's talk about it. So the pistol weighs 27 ounces, 26 or so, I'm not sure. It's got an overall length of 7.4 inches. It's got a 4-inch cold hammer-forged stainless steel barrel. It's got a 1-10 right-handed twist rate, so that is very accurate barrel. It's got a polished chamber and feed ramp. Ensure smooth feeding and reliability. Height-wise, it is 5.56 inches in height and a width of 1.35 inches. It is manageable for concealed carry if you use the right holster. It comes with either a 10 or 17-round magazine, depending on your state's restrictions. If you're living in one of the communist states, like California, New Jersey, New York, Baltimore, Maryland, I guess. It does ship in this neat little FN bag. The slide features combat-style sights that are easy to rack against a belt or a hard surface in an emergency. It has improved front and rear serrations here that I find to be really smooth for making consistent and optimal, slide racking or manipulations in general. The standard model, which is this, comes with a 3-dot luminescent sights. When you turn off your lights in the middle of the night, they are still glowing for a significant period of time. But there's also the law enforcement version, which comes with tritium night sights for better low-light performance. This is a polymer frame. It is built pretty tough. It features really enhanced grip textures, 3 different ones. There's like a dot / diamond / pyramid-like pattern in here. It's got like a sandpaper right here, and some ridges on the front and back of the frame. If it's wet or sweaty conditions, this is going to perform. FN also includes interchangeable back straps, so you can customize the grip to your fit. I went with the smallest one just because, I have the smaller size hands, so this fits my hands perfectly. This thing is fully ambidextrous. It's got ambidextrous slide stop, magazine release, which makes this an ideal pistol for both right-handed and left-handed shooters. You also get a standard military 1913 accessory rail, so you can mount an X300. This is the TLR1HL. The mags have high visibility, low friction follower. So this is designed to help keep your ammo running smooth and consistent without jamming up. The polymer base plates are pretty solid. I haven't had any issues with them. And I dry fire every night. I dry fire on concrete at work. So, these definitely do hold up. FN does make a 24-round magazine for it, which, I'm not saying is not cool, because it is, but, I probably wouldn't carry a 24-round magazine, maybe unless it was for home defense. FN really isn't big on manual safeties, and that's kind of been the trend ever since Glock removed them, like 30 years ago. The market has become a much more like accepting of striker-fired guns without external safeties. As many people say, like the trigger dingus here, that's a safety. It's got a safety on the slide internal, two of them actually. There's a striker block, I think, on the underside of the slide that actually stops forward movement unless the trigger is pulled. Drop safety that keeps the sear from disengaging, and the safety disconnector that prevents the gun from firing when it's out of battery. Now, FN clearly put a lot of thought into making this a safe and reliable defensive weapon, especially because it's for the AlexGuz competition. All right, and the grip proportions remind me a little bit of the SIG P229. The 229 is definitely heavier and bulkier, but the length and height ratio is a lot similar to it. The FN 509 has a relatively slim grip that feels somewhat 1911-ish like, if that sounds right, which I really, really like. The texture is aggressive, the molded knurling front and back, as well as the pyramids that are quote-unquote truncated. I don't even know what that means, but that's what they said online. FN added a lanyard loop if you need it, but, no, I don't think anyone's that much high speed of an operator, okay? Now, FN did a great job with making this pistol ambidextrous. Both the slide stop and mag release are fully bilateral. And unlike most of the competitors, the slide stop works just as well as the left. The mag release, however, does not. This is a little bit harder to do from this side, you know what I mean? So the slide is treated with like a melanite, which is like a special type of coating. It's not nitride, it's not tenifer. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle between like DLC and tenifer coated. And features front and rear serrations that I find to be absolutely incredible. I have absolutely no problem racking the slide in the dead of night if I need to like make sure I am clear or something. It works just great. So what I really like too is FN avoids that old school Glock trigger guard design, and instead of provided a little bit extra room, for a gloved finger if that is an issue for you. Personally, I like the overall look at the slide, but I think the front serrations could be a touch bit deeper. I wouldn't mind seeing additional cuts or angles to give it a more modern art. Like imagine the new M&P carry or M&P compact series or M&P 2.0 series. I think Smith & Wesson is doing a fantastic job and making their stuff look futuristic, modern, whatever you want to call it. All right. The striker-fired pistol market is absolutely flooded right now. Most of these guns functions pretty similarly. And choosing one comes down to ergonomics and price and brand preference and customer service. The FN 509 really sits in like the middle of the pack price-wise. Some people complain that it comes in a soft nylon case rather than a molded plastic one. But do you shoot the nylon case? No, you don't. So it's not that big of a deal to me. You know what I mean? I would like to see them ship with 3 magazines, especially since they're $50 a piece. I think that, in today's market, everything should ship with at least 3 magazines, but that might be a personal preference of mine, okay? Do I think that it should have all 3 back straps in the package or when the product is shipped? Absolutely, I do. But my advice, if you're going to consider a pistol in this category, find a range that you can go to that has a few different models, and actually shoot them. You know what I mean? Because, no matter how many videos you watch, no matter how many spec sheets you read, no matter how many forum opinions you read, nothing is going to replace that hands-on experience. So let's talk on the range. Let's talk performance about this. So the FN 509 has absolutely impressively low recoil. You know what I mean? It's fast to controllable shots and rapid fire. It's an outstanding choice for those looking for something other than a Glock, while still getting a proven duty-grade firearm. Now, Glock makes great handguns, you know what I mean? But in 2025, sticking to one brand just because of the name, especially in the era of reliability that we're in right now, just seems crazy, you know what I mean? I ran this gun with the Holosun 407K, as you see here. It is the green one. I don't know if you can see it, but, I could get some serious speed out of this, incredible accuracy, incredible ergonomics. I shot double taps, controlled pairs, transition drills, and reload drills, and the pistol ran absolutely flawlessly. Now, I've got over 1,200 rounds in it. I fed it a mix of 115 grain, 124 grain, 147 grain hollow points, ZSR, Winchester Federal, Remington, Blazer, anything that you can think of that's on the market. I probably ran through it just because, I only buy 100, 200 rounds at a time per paycheck or something. And usually it's like a mix match or whatever's on sale at the PSA website or something. I've had 0 malfunctions, no failures to feed, and no issues with my chamber, no issue ejecting, no stovepipes. The recoil was literally as minimal as it can get. I expected a low recoil because of the size and weight of a firearm like this, but it was even lower than I had anticipated, okay? The trigger takes some getting used to, and it definitely is the trigger takes some getting used to. We're going to rack a snap cap in here, and I'm going to show you the trigger pull on this. So, just a few millimeters of take up, and a real clean snap. Alright, let's show you the reset here. And the reset is definitely like a force reset. It really pushes your finger out. And I found that, the more rounds I put through it, the better it got. Let's show that one more time. Alright. Absolutely impressive, especially once it's broken in here. Alright. It's not a match trigger, but for personal use or defensive use, duty use, whatever you want to call it, it is, it doesn't rival my CZ. I think CZ and Canik and Walter make the best triggers on the market. But in my opinion, this is better than a Glock trigger, the standard Glock trigger, and rivals more the Glock's performance trigger. It's tactile, it's crisp, it's just what you want in a EDC trigger. For concealed carry, I paired it with the Tier 1 MSP holster, which I have on right now. I had to do some adjustments to the Tier 1 to get it to function properly. At least get the retention that I wanted, but nothing that I would return the holster for. Alright, accuracy-wise, with the cold hammer forged stainless steel barrel, it was amazing. I was hitting 2.5-inch groups at 25 yards, alright? You know, and when I was zeroing the optic in, and I was like really trying to not really control recoil and more focus on the solid trigger pulls, it you know, point aim, point impact. It was definitely where I wanted it time and time again. Okay. And partly I think the Hollow Sun is a fantastic optic. You know, I'm kind of torn between which one's better, the Hollow Sun 407K series or the Vortex Defender series, but we're going to do a video breaking down both of those in the future. All right. Um, so, conclusion, after 1,200 rounds, you know, the verdict on this is that this is a damn good pistol. All right, it's reliable, it's fast, it's easy to control. Now, if you're looking for a firearm with an alternative to the usual suspects, like Glock or, you know, I think Canik's been going crazy lately, but you still want a proven and duty-ready firearm, the FN 509 is definitely for you. This should absolutely be on your list of potential purchases. All right. So go out, shoot the FN 509. Tell me what you think. And if you own the FN 509, whether it's the compact, the mid-size, or the FN Reflex, tell me what you think down in the comments. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. I've shot the compact, and I own this, and great handguns. All right. I think FN is a brand that I would get behind. That isn't your usual suspects like Glock. I am kind of a hipster in that way. So CZ, FN, you know, sometimes SIG even makes a good 365. I would highly recommend you at least go check it out. So as always, boys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Dylan with The Prepared Father. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just so you don't miss anything new. And stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in that next one.